Breaking news from West Texas. A region not typically known for seismic activity has just been shaken by its strongest earthquake ever recorded, a surprising 5.1 magnitude that has left residents and experts alike stunned. Hello everyone, today, we're diving into a major development from West Texas, where a 5.1 magnitude earthquake has made headlines as the most powerful tremor ever recorded in the area. This quake, which struck on a seemingly ordinary Friday morning, has raised questions about whether it's an isolated event or a sign of deeper geological changes under the Lone Star State. Stay with us as we explore the details, potential impacts, and the broader implications of this extraordinary seismic event. It was just another Friday morning in West Texas until, at 9:30 a.m., the ground rumbled with unprecedented force. The 5.1 magnitude earthquake rocked the small village of Hermal, located about 200 miles west of Fort Worth. This peaceful community, known for its slow pace of life, was suddenly jolted awake as the tremor reverberated through North Texas and even reached Dallas. Residents were startled by the quake's intensity, with structures swaying and items falling from shelves. The quake was preceded by smaller tremors earlier in the week, a magnitude 4.9 earthquake and a 2.5 magnitude tremor, suggesting a build-up to this significant event. The U.S. Geological Survey, USGS, has confirmed the magnitude using sophisticated instruments. In regions like West Texas, where earthquakes are rare, a 5.1 magnitude quake is particularly noteworthy. This event serves as a reminder of the Earth's constant movement, even if we don't always feel it. Following the quake, numerous reports of structural damage surfaced. Broken windows, fallen objects, and cracked walls were common, especially in older buildings not built to withstand seismic activity. Local authorities quickly declared a disaster, and emergency management teams were mobilized to assess and repair the damage. Interestingly, Texas, known more for its oil and gas production than for seismic activity, has seen a rise in earthquakes over the past decade. The recent quake is part of a trend linked to hydraulic fracturing, fracking, and wastewater injection. The region's old fault lines might be reacting to these human activities, raising concerns about the impact of energy extraction methods on seismic stability. Although the earthquake did not result in major casualties, the possibility of future infrastructure damage remains a concern. The Texas Department of Emergency Management, TDEM, played a crucial role in providing real-time data and coordinating safety measures. The public received guidance on earthquake preparedness, emphasizing the importance of emergency kits and family plans. Recent seismic events, particularly those that have caused significant damage and disruption, have ignited a heightened focus on the integrity of building codes and construction practices. As societies grapple with the aftermath of these events, there is an urgent call for a thorough reassessment of current standards to ensure that structures are resilient against seismic forces. The objective is to fortify buildings and infrastructure to minimize damage and safeguard lives in the event of future earthquakes. The process of reviewing and revising building codes is not a straightforward task. It involves a multidisciplinary approach where engineers, architects, urban planners, and seismologists collaborate to analyze past earthquake data, assess the performance of existing structures, and incorporate new scientific findings. These professionals evaluate various factors such as soil conditions, building materials, construction techniques, and design principles to develop comprehensive guidelines that enhance earthquake resilience. One critical aspect of this review process is understanding the specific vulnerabilities of different types of structures. For instance, older buildings constructed before the implementation of modern seismic codes may be particularly susceptible to damage. These structures often lack the reinforcements and design features that are now standard in earthquake-resistant construction. Retrofitting these buildings to meet current standards is a significant challenge but essential for reducing risks in earthquake-prone areas. In parallel with the reassessment of building codes, there has been a surge in scientific debate regarding the role of human activities in triggering seismic events. This debate centers on whether practices such as hydraulic fracturing, fracking, and deep well injection, which are prevalent in various industries, could be contributing to increased seismic activity. Fracking involves injecting high-pressure fluid into underground rock formations to extract oil and gas, and deep well injection involves disposing of wastewater by injecting it into deep geological formations. Some researchers argue that these activities can induce seismic events by altering subsurface pressures and stress distributions. For instance, The injection of fluids into rock formations can increase pore pressure, potentially leading to fault slippage and, consequently, earthquakes. This phenomenon is particularly concerning in regions where fault lines are already active or where the geological conditions are conducive to seismic activity. The implications of these findings are significant, as they could necessitate changes in how such activities are regulated and monitored. Regulatory agencies may need to implement stricter controls and guidelines to mitigate the potential seismic risks associated with these practices. This could include measures such as monitoring seismic activity in real time, conducting comprehensive risk assessments before approving new projects, and imposing limits on the volume and pressure of injected fluids. The ongoing debate over human-induced seismicity underscores the critical need for sustained research and collaborative efforts among scientists, policymakers, and industry stakeholders. This debate revolves around whether certain human activities, such as hydraulic fracturing, fracking, and deep well injection, are contributing to an increase in seismic events. The complexity of this issue necessitates a thorough and multifaceted approach to understand the intricate interactions between human actions and natural seismic processes. To address this challenge effectively, a multidisciplinary approach is essential, integrating various fields of expertise to gain a comprehensive understanding of the factors contributing to seismic activity. Geologists play a pivotal role in examining the subsurface conditions and fault lines where seismic activity occurs. They study geological formations, including the properties of rocks and the characteristics of fault lines, to assess how these factors might be influenced by human activities. By analyzing seismic data, fault structures, and historical earthquake records, geologists can identify patterns and correlations that help determine if there is a link between human activities and increased seismic events. They also monitor and analyze induced seismicity, where small to moderate earthquakes are observed in areas with significant human activity, such as fracking sites. Understanding how these induced quakes differ from natural earthquakes can provide insights into the mechanisms at play and help distinguish between natural and human-induced seismic events. Engineers, particularly those specializing in seismic design and structural engineering, are critical in evaluating the impacts of seismic activities on buildings and infrastructure. Their work involves assessing how human activities might influence stress distributions in the Earth's crust and how these stresses can affect structural integrity. Engineers focus on developing and refining construction standards to ensure buildings and infrastructure can withstand both natural and induced seismic forces. This includes designing structures with adequate reinforcement, using materials that can absorb and dissipate seismic energy, and implementing construction techniques that enhance resilience to earthquakes. Their contributions are vital for creating guidelines and standards that mitigate the risks associated with seismic events, whether they are caused by natural processes or human activities. In summary, the recent seismic events have prompted a renewed focus on enhancing building codes and construction practices to ensure structures can withstand earthquakes. This process involves a comprehensive review of current standards, addressing vulnerabilities in older buildings, and incorporating new scientific knowledge. As West Texas recovers from this significant earthquake, the focus will remain on understanding its causes and preparing for future events. The earthquake has highlighted the need for stronger regulations and better preparedness in a region not typically associated with seismic risks. The ongoing scientific research will be crucial in determining the links between human activities and earthquakes, ultimately guiding policies to ensure safety and sustainability. Thank you for joining us for this in-depth look at the recent West Texas earthquake. Stay tuned for more updates and analysis as we continue to follow this story and its implications for the region and beyond.